Welcome to ASR's IS Institute. This is our website asr.com. This is to remind you of a new initiative which we have started. These are free online daily tests. Click on this link. You go to the login page. So in the login page you ask for username and password. If you are a first time user, sign up. In sign up, fill in your details. You will get a confirmation email ID, email reply as well. Plus, please remember for the course, select the last course up here, that is free daily online test. So when you click this and select this and submit your form, we'll get your details. We will enroll you for the free online daily test. Once the institute enrolls you for this, that should happen by within 24 hours. Then when you log in, you will be able to see all the tests. So once you are enrolled, you will get an SMS from the institute too confirming about your enrollment, and then you can start giving. These will be free online daily tests. 10 MCQs based on current affairs. So these will be current affairs MCQ tests, and these will be based on previous day's current affairs. What is discussed in news, editorial, question bank. Wherever MCQs are relevant will be framed. So please do take the benefit of this initiative as well. Now we look at current affairs for 15th December. The first news item in today's paper. These are the 8 news items. Rajya Sabha passes disability bill with more benefits. So we already had a Persons with Disabilities Act of 1995, but after UN Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities was signed by India in 2007, we were required to provide better protection, upholding the rights, preventing discrimination against disabled. So that is why a new bill was introduced. This bill was introduced in Rajya Sabha by the former government, and now after 3 years almost, it has been passed by the Rajya Sabha. So a bill pending in Rajya Sabha survives. A bill pending in Lok Sabha lapses when the Lok Sabha changes, when the Lok Sabha dissolves. So this is there. So it gives longevity to the bill if it is introduced in the Rajya Sabha. Even if it is not passed by the present government, still it would continue to stay. So that is what has happened. Now Rights of Persons with Disabilities Bill has been passed by Rajya Sabha yesterday. Now it is hoped that it will be passed by Lok Sabha too, and it will become an act. So in a day it will become an act after the president give it the assent. What is the difference here? One major difference is that it has expanded the list of disabilities. The original act, 1995 act, recognized only 7 disabilities. Now this new act will recognize 21 disabilities. Also the amount of reservation has increased, that is from 3% to 4% in government jobs, from 3% to 5% in higher educational institutions. So that is the benefit, and this reservation is given to disabled who have at least 40% of the disability. Only those are eligible for reservation. So looking at these 21 disabilities too, the original 7 which were there and the new 21, they are listed out here. So of course the original ones were the generally known: low vision 1, blindness 2, hearing impairment 3, leprosy cured 4, mental illness 5, locomotor disability 6. The last one, 7th one, was mental retardation. So that term is no longer used now. So apart from these other diseases which have been added, you can see are autism spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, hemophilia, then intellectual disability. So that is the term used rather than mental retardation. Muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis, specific learning disabilities, speech and language disability, sickle cell diseases, thalassemia, chronic neurological conditions, and finally multiple disabilities. So these were the 19. There are 2 more added to this. These 2 were added later by an amendment by the present government, and these 2 latest additions by amendment were disability due to acid attacks and Parkinson's diseases. So these total now become 21 diseases under this new disabilities bill. Some of the prominent ones related to psychological intellectual disabilities are autism and Down syndrome. So these 2 have been recognized as intellectual disabilities now. So this we need to discuss. And Parkinson's disease is to latest addition. Disability due to acid attack is understood. So this we will discuss. One more provision, the 2 major other provisions are that for protecting the rights of disabled, if there is any discrimination against them, the jail term has increased from 6 months to 2 years, and fine has also increased from 10,000 to 5 lakh. So this is the safeguard provided, plus also the Office of Chief Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities at the central level and State Commissioners at the state level. Their powers have also been strengthened. So this is there. Now looking at these diseases, the first one is autism. So it's called autism spectrum disorder. So it's a spectrum disorder, means no two people with autism will be the same. It's a complete spectrum of diseases from least affected to most affected. So it is again an intellectual disability. Its traits are that there is a social interaction deficiency, social awareness and interaction is difficult for them. Language communication skills become a little difficult. Showing variable interests and behaviors is low. So these are the traits of autism, and this, of course, it is disorder of development of the brain function. The causes are not known. It is called either there are genetic factors responsible or environmental factors responsible because of which the disease is caused. So there is no cause known as such. The next is Parkinson's diseases. So Parkinson's disease is a disorder of the brain. The traits which are seen are like shaking, the tremor, the movement difficulty which is found in walking, coordination of the body movement. So that is what is visible. It generally occurs at an old age, but then sometimes it may occur a little earlier too, like at the age of 40s. Otherwise it's during the later stage. The next about Parkinson's is the Down syndrome after Parkinson's disease. So this Down syndrome is a genetic disorder. This is because of an extra copy of chromosome 21. So we have 23 pairs of chromosomes. So those who have one extra copy of chromosome at the 21st and the 21st pair, they are called people with Down syndrome. So they have specific facial characteristics, features, because of which they are clearly visible and can be clearly known to be suffering from Down syndrome. The deficiencies which they face with are impulsive behavior. They have poor muscular tone of the body, their movement, they have short attention span, they have learning disabilities. So this is autism, this is Down syndrome. Then the next news item is Cabinet clears bill to give autonomy to 12 major ports. So this Major Ports Authority Bill of 2016 has been approved by the Union Cabinet. So after approval, it's a government's bill. So it will be introduced in the houses. After being passed by both the houses and getting the assent of President, it will become an act. So it is at a very initial stage right now. It has not been introduced in the Parliament yet. Only approved by the Union Cabinet, that is the executive. What is this bill trying to achieve? It will replace the existing Major Ports Trust Act of 1963. So under this Major Port Bill, the 12 major ports of the country on the east and west coast both, these will get greater autonomy and complete autonomy in decision making, greater efficiency with which they can work. So that is what is emphasized. So all PPP, means public private partnership operators, will be free to fix tariffs based on market conditions. So earlier the tariff authority for major ports, the fixed tariff was to be followed. Now this fixed tariff will only act as a reference tariff. So they're getting full autonomy. Even the size of the board for the port authority has been reduced, so it will have more professional independent members too, and will become compact, and the independent review board will also be appointed to review the decisions. So some changes been made here to bring in more efficiency in the operation of ports. The next news item is NGT issues notices to UP civic bodies. So this is regarding the National Green Tribunal, which has been established in 2010 and has been functioning since 2011. So it is a tribunal on environmental related issues. It is chaired by former Supreme Court Judge Swatantra Kumar. So it is having its own benches, NGT benches, which hear cases related to environment and it adjudicates on them too. So presently it has sent a show cause notice to UP government on why it should not be having environmental compensation imposed on it, because it failed to comply with the statutory, means what is required under the act as such, statutory obligation regarding discharging of untreated sewage water into Ganga. So untreated sewage water cannot be discharged into Ganga, but it has violated this obligation. So then there will be environmental compensation imposed on the government. So this was the order, directions given by the Central Pollution Control Board. But neither the UP board, Pollution Control Board, nor municipal bodies did even prepare any action plan, which was also required by them. That has not been done by them. So this is the question put forth. So we'll hear more on this. You should know about NGT specifically too, said what is it all about and what does it look into. So it is what set up to make it effective and expeditious the disposal of cases related to environmental protection. So of course its headquarters is in Delhi. We heard about NGT also while we were discussing Delhi and northern air pollution issue. So NGT had issued various directions then also. This is regarding cleaning Ganga. The states and union territories in Ganga basin. Now Ganga basin would be much larger. When you talk of rivers through which states through which river Ganga flows is different, and states and union territories in which Ganga basin lies different. So Ganga basin will comprise of entire Ganga system, the river and its tributaries, and entire region which is covered by them. So these are the states union territories in Ganga basin. Ganga and its tributaries are listed out here, and the major dams up here. So cleaning Ganga is a huge task. So we also have a Clean Ganga mission which the government initiated. So presently a lot of funding has been provided for it too, but then still a lot needs to be done. So industrial sewage coming into river Ganga, one point. The pilgrims and people bathing and other activities undertaken in Ganga, because of which again pollution takes place. And finally it is about the government making efforts to initiate cleaning of river Ganga to restore it. So those are the important aspects which need to be taken care of. So there should be sewage treatment plants which should be set up so that treated sewage is only flowed out into river Ganga. Then the next news item is Green Panel imposes interim ban on Manja. So this is again regarding National Green Tribunal. So it has given an interim ban, that nationwide ban means entire India, there will be no use of glass coated Manja for flying kites, because Makar Sankranti is also approaching. So this is the order given. So it will apply on all Chinese Manja, cotton Manja, nylon Manja, any which is coated with glass. So this is the order in line with even the Allahabad High Court order of November 2015, in which again it had banned use of Chinese Manja in Uttar Pradesh. So now this is a nationwide ban by NGT. The next news item is Eastern Ghats getting some attention, experts. So Eastern Ghats have been neglected as compared to Western Ghats, where many committees have been set up to look into the cases, conservation of environment and the flora and fauna. That has also speeded up, but now Eastern Ghats is catching up a little later, but it is. So there are many different species of plants and animals found here. The significant endangered mammals found here are listed here. So fishing cat, rusty spotted cat, barking deer, mouse deer. So these are some names you should remember, because UPSC is fond of environment related questions, so they may ask you anything. So then another important point which we have come across in news earlier too is the largest tiger reserve. The largest tiger reserve in India is also in Eastern Ghats, and this is Nagarjuna Sagar and Srisailam Sanctuary. So if you remember, this lies in the border. Districts under it come in both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So it's shared by both. So it has also the largest cat, Royal Bengal tiger, and the smallest cat, rusty spotted cat. Both are found in the wild in this sanctuary. So two significant aspects about this sanctuary. One is that it is the largest tiger reserve, and largest as well as smallest of the cat species, Royal Bengal tiger and this rusty spotted cat, both are found here. So these you should remember. This is a very important point. So if it's repeated in Hindu too, so there may be a question which will become very significant on this. Then the next news item is contrasting realities in primary schooling. So this is the article in the education series in the Hindu newspaper, which we are seeing, which will run for 7 days till Saturday. So this is talking about the increase in the proportion of students in primary education preferring private school over government schools. So government schools have been set up. So the number of schools being set up has increased drastically, even under the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, which we have been seeing since the last few days. So there has been massive supply of infrastructure and density of schools being added in both urban and rural areas. But then in terms of quality, this was only quantity. In terms of quality of education, they have not fared well. We saw earlier too that even higher grade students, class 5 students, are not able to read class 2 text. So such things come forward. So when such issues come forward, then there is a question about the quality of education being imparted in government schools. So that is why we are seeing more and more of the parents enrolling their children, parents or guardians, they are enrolling their children into primary schools in private sector rather than government schools. So this is a new trend emerging even in rural areas. So this, again, one point highlighted is government schools, the cost has been brought down significantly, but along with the cost, the quality has not been improved. So this is one aspect, because cost is taken over by the exchequer. So that is not a problem. But what about the quality? Even teachers are paid well. It is seen that government school teachers are paid well. Private school teachers take a lot of fees from the students. So it's costly education, but then the quality of teachers is fine. Some cases even quality suffers, but the amount of money paid to private school teachers is drastically low when compared to government school teachers. So this is the huge mismatch we see, contrasting realities in primary schooling which we see. So this is being discussed here about the quality as such. So there are two data which are shown here. One is about teachers absenteeism, which is shown in the map of India, that number of teachers who stay out of school. So teachers absenteeism is not there, and the situation is very good. They have double the number of teachers required, or so that would be 100%. So these are the states here which are in dark green. Then it goes lighter and lighter to pinkish region where teachers absenteeism issue starts, and then these darker regions are having drastic teacher shortages, which are seen in here: Northeast, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, this is Jharkhand, West Bengal and Punjab. So this is about teachers absenteeism. And the next data, this is regarding percentage of children who can read standard 2 level text as per the annual status of education report. So this is shown here: private schools percentage, government schools percentage, and the gap, how much is the gap. So this is shown over the years. So in 2016 too, you can see private schools do fare well, always they have fared well. So this gap is reduced to, that is good. The next news item is nationwide black money chase continues. So we have been hearing continuously about income tax and police raids which take place, and money is being seized at airports and in vehicles. So this various cases have come forward. So this shows that black money is being chased by the government. So that is highlighted here. So you can see various incidents where huge amount of money, huge amount of gold has been captured. So in Mumbai, to 90 kg gold, 18.32 crores. Even in some cases it is huge amount of the new currency too, and in many cases it is demonetized currency too, which has been seized. So that is highlighted just for your information. Then the next news item is IS's organized arms industry exposed after Iraq losses. So you must be knowing about the war which is being fought in Iraq to recapture Mosul from Islamic State. So Iraqi forces, also supported by the US, are advancing. They have not been able to recapture Mosul yet, but the regions around it are coming under them. So here it has been revealed now that Islamic State had established factories to manufacture car bombs. So these bombs, all these missiles which were developed by them happened through formal structure as factories, and the shell casings which were required for these missiles came from the scrap metal and spare parts in the cities in Iraq, and the explosives, the propellants which are required, came from the open market in Turkey, transported to Syria, came to these factories, developed here. Once the explosives, the missiles were developed, all these military products were colored green. They were put, the IS logo was put on it, it was branded and then covered up and spread across through all the IS places on the fronts where they are fighting. So this was a formal system which they had established. So this has been revealed. So presently what of course we need to know is about the entire fight which is going on here against Islamic State in Iraq, and in Syria it is much more complicated. So again today there is the Battle of Aleppo which is being discussed. So Aleppo, the war is not between Islamic State and Syria. The war in Palmyra is between Islamic State and Syria. So this Palmyra was recaptured. We had done this in news too, but then again Islamic State came back and had its control over this ancient city of Syria. But then Aleppo, the war is between Syria and the rebel groups against Bashar al-Assad regime. So this Aleppo battle is being shown here, what is been the progress and how it has been faring. So both are committing atrocities. We have discussed this quite often. So just another look at it. So that is it in news. You can download the PDFs for the news, editorial and question bank from our website. The link is provided in the description of this video. Thank you so much.